We live in a world surrounded by mysteries and things we can't explain. Skeptics, like my sister, will always try to find a logical explanation for everything, even when there isn't one. But I've always believed there's much more hidden from us, and sometimes unseen forces quietly step into our lives or simply watch us. 20 years ago, after finishing my college exams, my two best friends and I decided to spend a weekend at a lake house, swimming, barbecuing, and just relaxing. We lived in Seattle, and the cabin belonged to my friend Natalie's parents. It was a lovely place, a small wooden house painted green, surrounded by apple trees and lilac bushes. In front of it, a tidy garden full of bright summer flowers, irises, peonies, daisies. Across the narrow dirt road stretched a forest, tall, dark, and whispering in the wind. At sunset, the lake turned gold, and the sky melted from blue into rose and violet. The air was thick with the scent of blooming lilacs, dizzying and sweet, filling us with that beautiful sense of peace and anticipation that only youth can give. That evening, we sat by the fire, talking, laughing, sharing secrets. When you're young, it feels like life will always be this simple, like happiness is the default state of being. When night fell, we put out the fire and went inside. The house had 2 small rooms and an attic. In the first, a little couch and a wardrobe. In the second, a bigger sofa, a dining table, and a china cabinet. Everything was neat and clean. It was obvious Natalie's parents loved this place. The girls took the sofa in the main room, and I lay down on the little couch by myself. Outside, the night was quiet and starless. I could hear the wind brushing against the apple branches. Then I realized there wasn't any wind. The branches moved anyway, scraping against the window like something alive. That's when I heard it, a soft rustle on the porch, then a faint, careful pressure on the door, as if someone was checking whether it was locked. A moment later, the doorknob turned, very slowly, very quietly. My whole body went cold. I lay perfectly still, facing the wall, my back to the door. The door didn't open, but then the sound of footsteps, soft, deliberate steps on the old wooden floor, moving closer. Someone was walking toward me. My heart pounded in my throat. I tried to tell myself it was a joke, maybe one of the girls trying to scare me. So I shouted without turning around, "Claire, I know it's you. Cut it out." From the other room, a sleepy voice answered, "What are you yelling about?" I turned. No one was there, but the feeling that someone was still standing in the middle of the room, watching me, was so strong, it was almost physical. I turned to face the door, pulling the blanket up to my chin. The air felt heavy, charged, as if the night itself was holding its breath. And even though I couldn't see anyone, I was sure something else was in that room with me. Somehow, I eventually fell asleep, though it was uneasy and shallow. When the first pale light of dawn crept through the window, I awoke to the faintest sound of footsteps. But this time, they were coming from the room where my friends were sleeping. A soft clink of glasses from the cabinet followed. I froze. My friend stirred. Claire mumbled, still half asleep, "Why are you up?" I whispered that I hadn't gotten up yet. Natalie, the owner of the cabin, yawned and explained calmly, "It's nothing scary. Sometimes guests hear him. He doesn't harm anyone. He's part of the house, just watchful." A shiver ran through me. I remembered the night before, the scratches at the window, the careful pressure on the door, the slow, deliberate footsteps. And now, this morning, It seemed to be exploring the rooms with equal curiosity. We stepped outside as the sun rose. The day promised to be hot and bright. Birds chirped, and dew sparkled on the lilacs and iris petals. Uliana, pointing toward the attic, asked, "Wasn't the attic door closed last night?" I didn't answer. Inside, the house still held the weight of the night, the unspoken presence, the silent visitor who moved among us without making a sound. And even in daylight, I felt it watching, waiting just beyond sight, keeping its secrets tucked away between the rafters and the apple trees.